have Jacqueline O'Donnell here with us. This is our member spotlight, and we do them sporadically throughout the week. And it's just my way of sharing my audiences with these amazing members that we have at Palette. So everyone, here's Jacqueline O'Donnell. It's so nice to have you here. Thanks for taking the time out to tell us more about yourself.
Of course. Thank you for having me. So my name is Jacqueline
So yeah,
O'Donnell,
go ahead
and
and tell everybody who you are and all about Math Refresh and how it got started.
I'm the founder of Math Refresh. It's a math school, and it got started because I was a public school math teacher, and I graduated during the pandemic from grad school with my certification and started teaching. And the landscape for teaching looked very different after the pandemic when I was going to be a teacher. And I had been tutoring and helping students on the side all through grad and still while I was a teacher. Felt like there's a lot of need for one-on-one attention or just extra programming to get students interested and up to par as far as being able to do math well and see how it's used in the real world. So took a path and teaching and turned it into a math school. So I offer private tutoring and STEM programming.
Amazing. So tell us like more about that leap, because going to school to be a teacher, it's like your trajectory is kind of set, right? And then for you to kind of like steer and take the leap is really, really difficult for a lot of people. And I think that's like the first step in becoming an entrepreneur or starting your own thing. And so tell us more about the process and how you got the support you needed to make the leap.
So it definitely was a little scary at first. I grew up in a household where both of my parents were state workers, unionized. Like, this is what we do. We get our and the trajectory that I felt like this is what I'm doing as a teacher. Um, and I was fine with that. But I think getting into teaching, I wanted to feel like I was doing more and actually teaching and not under the system. Um, so taking the leap to start my was it was scary. I'm not gonna lie. I My background is in PR and marketing. That's what my so I do feel like I knew enough about how my own business and brand it that it wasn't very could have been, but definitely leaving that nice pension salary position to take a risk and start this was uh, a tin, but did, and especially because I had joined Palette as at the pretty much the start of my business, and so I feel like being at Palette has provided me with a lot of the support that I've needed along the way, even if it's just seeing other women doing the entrepreneurial thing.
Yeah, yeah,
So I
awesome.
feel like a lot of the support that I've gotten is there.
Yeah, yeah. And so, I kind of want you to chat about how you found Palette and what has been the biggest, like, valuable tool or resource that you've gotten out of Palette to help you with your business.
So Palette through one of my friends, Juliana Russell, who she owns the Language Mindset, and she's also a teacher, not a school, and she has her own language school. And she served as a mentor to me through this whole process. And so she introduced me to you, and I think it was in the transition locations. And so in October, her and I started meeting because I had taken her Italian class, and I was like, I want to do what you do, but I'm not really sure where to start. Let's meet. And we started at Palette, and then I became a member, and my network has grown by so much with other women who are able to help me build my business, even with like legal questions or accountants and how to really get this streamlined. So it's been really great, like working with her, and also meet other women.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily use the space as a co-working space. You use it as as a place to come and meet with your clients, which happen the majority of them are kids, right?
Yes. Yeah, so it's pretty fun. I'm there in the afternoons. It's kind of the off hours and evenings, and my students come and meet me there, and we have our one-on-one private tutoring. And I think it's really great. Prior to this, I was meeting with students at libraries, which can be a little distracting, but bringing them into a space where there's a lot of um, movers and shakers, I think is a really great opportunity for students to see. And it's not something that every student has the opportunity to be surrounded by lives. So it's definitely different. And I think the parents really appreciate uh, the professionalism of the space, that we can work one-on-one, but there's also a lot of business professionals surrounding us.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's wonderful. And I've also
awesome.
had the opportunity to host my math and art club there, which is in the conference room, and we're able to like through the lens of math, and that's a once a month meeting for kids.
Which I own Saratoga Paint and Sip as well, and I really do appreciate the arts, and I'm all about making art more accessible. And so to tie it in with math, I think is brilliant, and what a great, cool way to connect the two, and both sides of our brain, So there's not like you don't have to be this analytical, logistical, statistics kind of person to thrive at math. You can incorporate your creative side and make it more fun, and that's what I'm all about, is making things more fun. So I love that.
Right. And I like showing kids that math doesn't have to be a drag. It doesn't have to be pages of equations. You can do math, and a lot of students, I think, don't realize that they're doing math while they're doing something creative. So allowing them to see those little pieces, like, okay, well, we're here, or reflections, and just making those connections between the disciplines is really important.
Yeah. So tell everyone, how can if maybe they're a parent at home having a child struggling with math, or not even struggling. This is just like this can be just an added layer to something they're really, really interested in. I, for one, like I was not, I really was, I'm not just saying I wasn't good at math. I really wasn't good at math. And I don't know whether it was, I didn't have someone like helping me through it. I remember I had a tutor, but it wasn't like somebody that was like incredibly engaging or entertaining. So I really struggled at math. And so as a mom, my oldest is in third grade, and I'm like white knuckling it, like, oh my God, when it gets to the point where like the math gets hard, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to help her or support her in the way that she will need. So tell everyone how they can get a hold of you, and also maybe a little about your process and how you work with your students.
Yes. Parents are able to book tutor online with me. They can book it for in person in Saratoga. I also meet with students in Glens Falls, or online. So there's a wide range of opportunity. And I think parents really struggle with telling their students about getting a tutor. Not every student is thrilled to come see me. It's to be a process for some of them to get them there. But I think once they're there and the parents have those conversations with them, like, that is something to help support them. And asking for help is not a bad thing. And I think that's what I tell parents drive home is like, it's okay to ask for help, to make that message clear to students. Um, and I think once that conversation happens and I meet with students a few times, I'm not some scary person. I really try to make it fun. I make math. It's a really lighthearted environment, that they actually look forward to coming to see me. Whether or not they look forward to doing math, at least spending that hour together is a positive experience in their week. So parents can book with me online, and I can certainly just have a discussion like, does their student need a tutor, or um, is this something to like help them catch up, help them prepare for the next class? I do have a lot of students who it's not that they're behind in class, but they need just a little bit more enrichment, or they're looking in honors or whatever that next step. So I do have a wide range of students, whether it's like they're failing and need to catch up to grade level, or they're trying to push ahead. I really enjoy relations. I find myself creating a lot of my programming for the students who want that next level enrichment.
And let's
And
talk
that's
about grades and ages. Like, what is the span of students that you help? Is it from about third, fourth grade on to eighth grade? Do you go into high school too, or tell us more about that?
Yeah, so I'm certified for grade teaching. I do tutor a little younger to like third and fourth grade levels as well, which I find very interesting because of how their career is set up, that they are in a very algebraic mindset from very young. So I feel like knowing where the curriculum is going in high school helps me tutor those younger students because I can foster that algebraic mindset early on. Um, so I do tutor my oldest students right now are in 11th grade. So I have a wide range, but my heart is where the geometry is at like years old. Um, and just like geometry is my favorite topic. And I feel like that's a developmental for teenagers. Like, so I really enjoy spending time with them and hearing about their.
Oh my gosh, so much fun. And again, this is not my forte. Like, I think when when my girls are 14 and 15 and they'll be 14, I don't know. I actually don't know what the age is, what they'll be at that point. But like when Posey's 14, 15, I'm like gonna want nothing to do with geometry. So I'm so happy to have you in my life. We have a ways to go before we get there. But right now it's interesting, the third and fourth grade, like just their brains right now are like such sponges, and I know we hear that all the time, but I really have seen a change, like a turning point for Posey in third grade, especially where she is more open and conducive to absorbing some of the things around her. So it's so important to, I think now is a really good time to kind of introduce more of this positive conversation and support around math and science and school in general. I mean, she loves school, but I feel like I'm starting to get hints of like, okay, this could be the turning point. So I am all about, I know me for one, I'm like always asking for help. I'm like, can never do anything on my own. So hopefully she'll be good to go, and happy to work with you eventually. And again, the art piece is so cool to have, you know, folded into the mix. Is there anything else or any events that you have coming up? You said the art camp or math art is once a month. Can you tell more people about when that is and how they can, again, do they just go to your website to sign up for those, and the age brackets and more details for that? Because I think that it's so much fun, and I think it would be so cool to have like a whole palette full of kids doing math and art. That would be a dream come true.
Yes, so I have the Math and Art Club. It meets once a month on Saturdays at 2 p.m. And then is April 15th. We'll be doing tessellations and looking at some of MC art, um, and then creating pieces of art using tessellations. And so parents can sign their students up online at math-refresh. Also coming up, I'm in collaboration with Adapalade Equine Center to do equestrian math. So all of the math that goes into running, and it's actually going to be on site at their farm, and we're going to have a small group of students learn everything that it takes to run a farm, and like how much feed each horse needs, how we measure horses, measuring volume, of like, So really getting on the scene and out there, seeing where math is in the real world. And that is coming up on 6th. So there's signups up on mathrefresh.com. And that for students ages 8 through 15, I believe.
Oh my gosh, this is brilliant because I can actually like vividly remember as a child thinking like, "Well, when am I going to ever need to know this math stuff?" So I love that you're incorporating it into the real world, and there's endless, ideas and ways you can incorporate it into real life. I love that you're doing the horse thing. I had no idea about that, so I'm definitely going to send Posey. She will love that. And yeah, thank you just so much for being here and sharing more of your story. I didn't actually know how Math Refresh got started, so this is so helpful to me too, and to get to know you better. So thanks so much. And anybody who is interested in getting in touch with Jacqueline, she is just a total sweetheart and the founder of Math Refresh. You can find her on Instagram too. You do some really cool Instagram videos that I love and incorporate, just making math fun, which I love. So thank you so much for being here. And everyone tune in. Again, we'll have some more member spotlights throughout the rest of the week and here for live on Friday at 11. Bye, everyone. Have